The stock's putting in a V-shaped rally here today. Can we see 6,800 tomorrow with CPI coming out in the morning? Been a while since we had any real concrete data, but they're finally gracing us with some tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some volatility out of that. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. If you guys like the video, maybe give it a like, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. You can come find me on CarnivoreTrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Let's get into it today. So markets here, again, with a pretty good rally. I talked about this yesterday. I said we'd probably finish green, which may set up, I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that we'll see a little bit of some retracing tomorrow. That doesn't mean we can't see 6,800, on some sort of, hedging unwind, but I don't think it really would follow through too much, to be completely honest. And it's based on a couple of things, but one of them is just like the structure overall here of the market. And you can see ES here. It's held up well. I still don't love the amount of it's just like short squeeze air that's in here. And again, just the size of the structure alone. We're trying to break above these highs here, and to be fair, it's starting to do that. But there's just still a lot of space here for me that has not been really filled. Like every time we try to have some sort of corrective move, it just gets bought up so quickly that there's just no time. If we look at a daily chart here, let me go back to this. It's just kind of comparing it here to like August. It's just not a strong place to break out from. Right? Like every time we try to have a corrective move, it just isn't let to happen. And so we make new highs by 100 points, and then and we make new highs by a couple of 100 points, and then it just another 100 points, and then we're just not able to follow through because we're not filling out these zones deep enough. So again, you can see it much better on the NQ, I think. Yeah, definitely. Like look at the difference here. And again, this isn't a bear take. I'm just saying. I don't think that first of all, it's a lot of data. We got CPI tomorrow. Trump now going to be meeting with Xi Jinping next week. We got earnings next week. We got the Fed next week. There's a lot of catalysts for volatility. That doesn't mean the market's going to crash, but I think we're going to see a lot of whipsaw here into the end of the month. And again, a similar setup here. The RSI right now on the daily is at like 57. It's just not really a strong place to break out from. So this is why I continue to say I don't think you need to really FOMO here. Yes, it feels like the market's going up every day, but dude, we're sideways. Like that was September 22nd right there. Where we are right now, we've been sideways for a month. So I know it feels like we've been going up because almost every day we go up, but then we get wiped out in one day or one session or 2 or 3 sessions. But the reality is we haven't really gone anywhere. So trading these ranges is very lucrative. I do like that. And I think that it'll continue a little bit. So I think if we try to break tomorrow, personally, I don't think it falls through. Does that mean I'm going to fight it and throw the kitchen house short? No. But, it's even a similar structure here, right? Like, 1-2 day sell, 3%, 3.5%, 2.5% in one day, right? And then up, flag, up, just too quickly, didn't fill out the range, and it had to chop for a month. So it didn't even get down to the range, but it had to correct through time. And again, down, up, flag, down, up, flag. Do we try that again? It's possible. So that's kind of where I'm at still. And I'm not even convinced we finish at the highs today. We might roll over a little bit. Semis have kind of flattened out since 12 o'clock, really, and they did not participate in that little Trump pump in the afternoon. And by the way, who's the guarantee that meeting even goes well? I mean, what if they just argue like they did with Zelensky? So I don't think the market even cares about that right now. Another thing I know that nobody cares about right now, but they should, is the largest private corporate lender in the world is in serious danger here. Blackstone back below the 200, and it's been selling on volume lately. So if it loses that, it can and will take the market down. Does that mean we're going to crash? It does not mean we're going to crash, but we know that there's liquidity problems, there's repo problems. That's the reason why they're going to end quantitative tightening next week, because they can't do it anymore. It's causing problems. You also have a yen that is getting wrecked against the dollar, and another higher high there puts more stress on The Forex market, 155 is the magic number. So there's a lot of things here that I don't think, I know it just seems like tech stocks are going up every day. Are they though? Palantir's gone nowhere. Apple, I told you, that was trappy. It's going to close the week at 260, and that's where it's at right now. Dude, they haven't really gone anywhere. I think even Microsoft. Microsoft's done nothing. Meta's done nothing. Google's done nothing. So it feels like they're going up every day, but they really aren't. I think SMCI got hit today. Yeah, SMCI down. We got Intel earnings after the bell. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But and by the way, Tesla, beautiful. I know one or two people in the trading room got this, but that 420 sweep was perfect. I didn't take it. It's Tesla's wild after earnings sometimes, but I mean that beautiful sweep of 420 up, pull back there, and then just went off. And I actually tweeted about it. I said, yeah, Tesla's gonna chill now. 450 is it, and that's where it stops. So anyway, but yeah, nice day for the market. I figured we would rally here, but I just don't see it following through right now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it just doesn't have enough structure to me personally. That said, we had a lot of other things going on today. News-wise, rigatoni. I told you not to bet against that. It's I don't know what you're doing, but yeah, these guys and IonQ and them were just ridiculous. I mean, like this stuff overnight. Last night the government coming in. Where's my after? I was looking at this. The government coming in and White House saying, "Oh, we're going to do business. We're going to acquire some of these," and then they denied it today. In the middle of the day, in the market, and like they didn't even respond. Like these stocks here, this is where they like that. The story where they denied it came out hours ago, and then the algos all of a sudden cared about it all at once, and then it came back, and now they're saying that they're back on. They're doing it again. Oh yeah, we are going to take a stake. I think these guys actually came out and said, like, we've literally been talking to the White House. So that's just a funny situation. But yeah, nice blow off move. These blow off moves do often get really good bounces though, and I have a small position in this with the trading room here, and just been wild volatility. It's fun. The memes have actually been the highlight of everything, but nonetheless, that was a good saga here. 45 and then maybe 50 if this can continue to rebound. It's got to clear that 20 though. It might be a little suppressed. It might get stuck to $40 right now. That is RGTI, IonQ, rebounding to 50. If it can clear this pivot here at 60, you could probably push back up towards 70 even. But yeah, I just thought that was a lot of fun. A lot of headlines coming out there with that. QQQ, again, 610 is still a magical number. And it would be really, I mean, I don't see it, but we did it happen happened 2 weeks ago. But 590 is still coming up. They just are obsessed with that number here. So that number has come up. Also 615 on the upside for tomorrow. IWM up 1.44. Although that was the weakest, really, like structurally intraday. Just not the greatest follow through. It's not even at the highs of the day really yet, or right now as the rest of the market is. I mean, it's off the highs, but it's not advancing. I'm watching this for the weekly close too. So anyway, diamond, yeah, up $2. Nothing terrible, nothing great. Semis kind of petered out a little bit. They are up 2%, but they did peter out again, like I said, in the middle of the day, and a little divergent from the market here. So just something I noticed. IGV held up pretty well. I know, yeah, Palantir was up good. I think Oracle, yeah, nicely. Microsoft up a little bit, nothing crazy. Transports got rocked hard. This is because of oil, and that's why the market started out weak this morning. Right, so the markets were down. They punched higher, they recovered, but oil here was the star. And yeah, I mean, yields up big. So 10-year up 1% there on an investment basis. ELT down 63 basis points. Talked about 92 as resistance, and that's been the case there. So just a lot of stuff going on here. I think, I mean, I don't know how oil is going to respond to dude, if they do quantitative easing right now, I mean, like, this is wild. It's crazy times. But yeah, oil might become a problem. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, TLT down. You've got CPI tomorrow. So again, that's why I say there's gonna be a lot of chops. There's a lot of whipsaw coming, right? I'm not looking for breakouts here, a trend, or breakdowns necessarily, because every day we're gonna have some other macro. Like today, oil was ripping higher, but with CPI dumps tomorrow and is poor, that can reverse and unwind very quickly. Also, speaking of dumping, they dumped the VIX ahead of CPI too. Like if I was a bull, I'd want this up. So just a lot of uncertainty here. XHB up 1.1. That was weak early on. Then IYR was weak early on too, but that came back. XLF managing to carve out a small gain. KRE down 24 basis points, nothing horrible. Broker dealers were weak early, but they came back. They did bounce back, but watch some of those fin stocks. Oil again with a nice rally. XLE. I actually had sell signals on these this morning, and a lot of them played out in the morning, but then they came back. So I didn't play. I tried to get filled on. I think I was gonna short Oxy. This is as a day trade, just to be clear, but I just didn't get filled on it. But you can see that would have been a nice. I was looking for like 43.50. I mean, that would have been almost $1. But notice how after the reaction, which is what we would look for with this particular proprietary indicator, you look for that reaction immediately, and then if it keeps going down, it's weak. If it doesn't, it's strong. And obviously, they're showing strength here, right? Chevron, Conoco, Exxon, right? They're all showing strength here intraday, and they're holding the gains. But who knows, CPI tomorrow. And that's the other thing, too, about CPI. Maybe oil's, I know there's like the sanctions talk, but I feel like Uncle Scott kind of gave it away, didn't he? Like yesterday, like last night, he's like, yeah, well, I think CPI is going to, it's going to soften over the next couple of months. Okay, so you're telling me it's going to be hot tomorrow, right? Right. I feel like oil kind of sniffing that out as well. Well, yeah, XOP, nice move. Again, we talked about the possibility of it sweeping this low. And, that's what it did. If it can close above 129.77, which it's at right now, that negates that breakdown bar. So that's a bear trap, really. In fact, you could even, you could call this a falling wedge now, too. So we'll see. OIH, she's going, man. Halliburton, Schlumberger. Right, so OIH, you closed the month above. That's a failure. That's a failed inside bar. You only got a week left. And a monthly chart. That's a huge, huge, huge thing that can happen. Dollar index here, flat. So no changes there. I will say though, dollar yen, again, higher lows and looking like we're going to get a higher high there too. Gold here rebounding off the 20. So that was fairly predictable, but it was a little tricky on the way down. They had that margin dump, and it hasn't really rebounded as ferociously as I thought it would. It hasn't even taken out that high from Wednesday, that intraday high. But silver up 2.25. Platinum continuing up, although it came off the highs. Actually hit. Yeah, it basically just retested the breakdown spot, so that makes sense. And then palladium, a little inside day, but it held up. A lot of the bounce was yesterday on that. And copper, nice rebound and breaking out of the $5 handle. So very nice. Bitcoin, again, I told you I was looking for momentum to turn up on this, and it did today. So we got a nice little rebound on that as well. It is off the highs currently. Look at it, went right into our trend line there again. Right around 111, and decent day. We'll see what happens. Ethereum, this was in trouble earlier. It kind of is now that it's coming off the highs again. I prefer to see this stay above that 3860. I know you got the green bar there, but you got lower highs now and basically equal lows. If this sells, I don't see this. I think it's going to have to go test the 200 day if this sells from here. full, up 6.5. That's good. But yeah, Bitcoin bounced. I figured it would today. So Spider's just off the highs here. Yeah, 67.50. We're probably just gonna sit underneath that. They might try to poke it through a little bit, but this should hold for the most part here today into the end of the day. Again, markets, just ferociously every dip is bought, but I still think that there's just not enough time that's been done to work this off currently. That's what I think. So anyway, that's it. I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. You can find me on carnivoretrades.com. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.